laps, 16 cars. Chuck McSpirit going to start inside front row with the 57. Outside of him, the number 9 is Shane Henderson. Then we got the 7C of Caden Dumbluski inside row 2. Outside of him, Brandon Amy with the number 2. Chucky Dumbluski in the 07. He starts inside row 3. Outside of him, the 14X. That's Scott Duell. Then we got our 7th place starter, the 76. That's Kyle Horde. He's inside row 4. Outside of him, the 14 of Kim Duell. The 03 junior of PJ Cram and the 2 of Pete Stefanski, our 25 champion, start side by side in row 5. Row 6, last week's winner, Richie Crane, the 7-11, and his Canaan, Connecticut neighbor, Jason Casey, go side by side in row 6. Chris Wemple in the 112, Jackson Ryan, the 04, Dave Stickles, the 55, and Jimmy Duncan in 771. That is your starting grid. Green off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway for the first time up here through 3 and 4. Up through the corner they come. Shane Henderson wide off the corner as they make their way down across the line. Henderson and Chuck McSpirit side by side here at the line. They're still side by side over off of turn number 2. Up through the corner they come. Henderson on the outside is going to get the run off the corner. At the line, he'll hang on to the number 1 position. But Chuck McSpirit hanging tough there in the runner-up position. Caden Dumbluski back there in 3rd spot. He's got dear old dad right there behind him. Chucky Dumbluski, your 4th place car. Brandon Amy and Kyle Horde race side by side back there for 5th spot. Right now it is Amy, your 5th place car. Horde working down to the inside of him will now crack the top 5. So Kyle Horde working up to the inside of Brandon Amy to take over the 5th spot. Shane Henderson, Chucky Dumbluski battling up on the front of this one as they work their way down here into turn number 3. Chucky McSpirit working down here. 3-way battle on the front now. McSpirit on the inside. The Dumbluskis trying to make it a 4-car battle up front. 4 cars right together down into turn number 3. McSpirit, the best run to date he has had here at Albany Saratoga. Chuck McSpirit in the 57, what a run he's got going as they make their way down the back straightaway. They're side by side back there for the runner-up spot. 2 Dumbluskis and a Henderson as they come down off the corner. Chucky tried to get the run down low. Caden right there in the middle. Henderson dusting off the high side. Enter the picture, Kyle Horde. Horde right there in the 5th spot. They work their way down here off the corner. Horde trying to find a lane. He'd love to make it a 4-way battle. They work their way up here into the corner, down to the inside to 57 of McSpirit. Look at Caden Dumbluski. He's trying to get by Shane. Oh, now Chucky goes down low. Chucky D goes from 4th spot to 1st spot in one fell swoop. They work their way down here into turn number 1. Chucky Dumbluski taking over the top spot. He gets by Shane Henderson. Dumbluski taking over the number 1 position. Shane Henderson back to 2nd. Caden Dumbluski back there in 3rd. Here is PJ Cram now. PJ Cram going to try and crack the top 5. Here's Kyle Horde down to the inside of Chucky McSpirit. They work their way down. Brandon Amy coming with them as they work their way down through the corner. 10 laps on the board thus far. Field rolling up through the corner, down the back straightaway. Chucky Dumbluski trying to check out on the front of this one. What a battle we got going on back here for 2nd spot as Caden Dumbluski trying to work down to the inside of Shane Henderson. Henderson holding Dumbluski at bay as they work their way down through the corner. Up off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. They work their way up through the corner. Once again, it is Henderson on the high side of the raceway. But right now, it's Caden Dumbluski, your second place man. Dumbluski out of shape, off the pace. Yellow is out. The 112 of Chris Wemple off the pace here on the front straightaway. So first caution coming out on lap 13. And got to give a big tip of the hat to the Pro Stocks. A week ago, we couldn't go 2 laps without a caution. And sometimes it took us 3 to get a lap in. This, 13 laps without a caution. And some of the best racing we've seen all season yet. Side by side action. Kyle Horde dusting off the top side up there, getting a little heat in the tires there while we're under caution. Kyle will restart from the outside of row 2. Well, we got a family affair up there on the front row. Dad on the inside, Sonny up on the high side. Chucky and Caden side by side, ready to pull the trigger. The Dumbluskis go to green. Down at turn number 1 they go. Chucky D going to lead the way. Here's Shane Henderson trying to get down to the inside of Caden. Nothing doing there. PJ Cram going to plug the hole down low while Kyle Horde works up top. Got one going around. The 14. That's one of the, we got trouble on the left front corner down here on the McSpirit car. Scott Duell was the car that went around up here in turn number 4, the 14X. Chuck McSpirit in the 57 going to go back behind the wall, watching the DTD TV instant replay. Duell went around down to the inside. There was a little bit of contact in front of where Scott Duell was, but I don't believe he got any help. I think he just went around down on the inside of the raceway. But a disappointing finish to the race for Chuck McSpirit. Chuck McSpirit had probably the best race he has had here at Albany Saratoga. Running up front and very competitively. McSpirit has had his share of wins up at the Ridge over the years. Former competitor at Fonda Speedway as well. $14 in, 11 to go, and we're back to green. Green flag flies. Chucky D kind of bring them down here to turn number 1 as they work their way up here off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes Kyle Horde now down to the inside of Caden Dumbluski. Horde using the inside lane. Around goes Jackson Ryan. Ryan going around down here in turn number 4, and that's going to bring Yellow out on the raceway. So Yellow is out. Going to watch the DTD TV instant replay as they come down here in turn 4. Jackson got turned, but it was a situation where Jackson had to back out of it because Brandon Amy had come down off the outside of the corner, and Richie Crane nowhere to go when Jackson backed out of it. Around went Jackson off the front end of the 7-Eleven car. So we're going to get them back in even rows of 2. And I had made mention that the 7th place starting spot has been a pretty good starting spot to be here. Kyle Horde started in that 7th spot. And now Kyle Horde finds himself restarting from the outside front row. Anybody knows where Kyle Horde likes to race, I'll give you a clue. It's not the bottom. Going to restart from the top with Chucky D down on the inside. We'll see if Kyle Horde, around goes Cram. Pat Cram got turned down here in turn number 4. The 04 of Jackson Ryan was just a residual effect. Here is the DTD. Oh. Watching the DTD TV instant replay as they came down off the corner, Cram was down on the inside. Kim Dool was behind him, tucked up under. So we're going to get them back in even rows of 2. Timing and scoring, trying to get everybody back in their proper restarting order. Chucky Dombluski will set the pace. Kyle Horde from the top side. We have got a lap in, so we're 10 away from checkers now. Richie Peterson going to show the white this time by. Going to go green when they come down off of turn number 4. Chucky Dombluski and Kyle Horde from the front row. Caden Dombluski and Shane Henderson from row 2. Brandon Amy and Kim Dool will go from row 3. And one car coming back up out of the pit area. That would be the PJ Cram 03 car. Jason Casey back on the inside of row 4. As we go back to green. Green flag back out, underway down the back straightaway. The 07 of Chucky Dombluski. Rolling down here into turn number 3. Cars side by side back there for 3rd spot as they make their way down here off of turn number 4. What a race they're having back there between Caden Dombluski and Shane Henderson. Side by side, door to door, wheel to wheel as they work their way down the back straightaway. Caden Dombluski with the slight advantage there for 3rd spot. Shane Henderson not going to give up the outside. Now we'll see if he can diamond off the corner. He comes down. Kim Dool was there. Dool had to back out of it. As they work their way down here through the corner, up here off of turn number 4 now on the front straightaway. Working her way down here. 18 on the board, closing in on the 5 to go sign. When they work their way down here off the line, it'll be 19 when they cross the stripe. Chucky Dumbluski out in front, the 76 of Kyle Hord, your second place car. Richie Peterson about ready to give him a wave down here in front. It'll be 5 laps remaining. 5 to go at the line. Chucky Dumbluski up on the front, working down the back straightaway. Best race once again here for third spot. Henderson and Caden Dumbluski. Got another good one going on back a little further in the pack. Jason Casey working the inside of Brandon Amy. They got Pete Stefanski right behind them. Racing Jason now. The 2-time winner already this season down at Lebanon Valley. Jason Casey opting to make the trip up here to Albany, Saratoga tonight. As they work their way down the back straightaway, working their way down to turn number 3, going to come to 2 to go this time by. Here's your leaders. Coming down across the stripe, double sticks being shown for your leader, Chucky Dumbluski. Kyle Hord, about 4, maybe 5 car lengths behind him. He's got a lot of ground to make up and a little time to do it because the white flag is already in the air as your leaders come down here across the stripe. White flag has been displayed. Final time around here is Chucky Dumbluski working his way down here on the final corners. Up here, checkered flag is out. The win will go to Chucky Dumbluski. Kyle Hord going to come home second. Shane Henderson will finish third. Fourth spot going to go to Caden Dumbluski. And rounding out your top 5 is going to be the 14 of Kim Duell. So Chucky D from starting spot number 5. Picking up the victory. Kyle Hord going to pull up and give him a thumbs up down here in victory lane. Shane Henderson also going to pull alongside down here. Chucky Dumbluski, Kyle Hord, Caden Dumbluski, Kim Duell, and Jason Casey, your top 5. Brandon Amy, Pete Stefanski, Scott Duell, Richie Crane, and Jackson Ryan.